We've just spent the first night in our studio flat. What a transformation from 3 weeks ago. That's been a lot of work done in a very short space of time, but it's still a bit of a camping setup. We don't have any running water, but that might change today. We're Danny, Joanna, and this is Ada. We quit our jobs, packed up our lives, and left the UK to take on this abandoned wreck of a place. Why? Because we've got a wild dream to turn it into the ultimate off-grid homestead paradise. Not a clue what we're doing half the time, but if you love chaos, DIY disasters, and watching people chase big dreams, you're in the right place. So Danny's spent a long time trying to put a bit of a plan together. We've got the boiler on the wall already. Do you want to explain your artwork on the walls?
I have done plumbing in the UK, but we use copper there. So this is a new thing for me. These PPR pipe, plastic, polyurethane, poly something, I don't know, whatever. And I've watched a few videos on YouTube. You use those cutters to cut the pipe, and you use that machine that I've plugged in. It's like a solder, melts the plastic and fuses it together. Basically, it's like a plastic weld. To make my life easier, I've drawn some lines on the wall with pencil just to see where the hot and cold water are gonna go. And here we started drilling. We drilled a hole through the wall, which is 2 feet long, 60 centimeters if you don't do feet. And if you don't do feet, I completely understand. I'm not a foot person myself. This is water mains, and we're just gonna run it on the wall. So I'm just attaching some clips to secure the pipe, and then we just need to weld them together.
Bish bash bosh.
Bish bash bosh.
Here's one of the drill bits we used. We had to run between each side of the wall because obviously it didn't go all the way through.
So that was just the pipe that I ran here for the water mains. I'm gonna tee it off here for the washing machine, and this is gonna be the stop valve for the washing machine. And then I'm just gonna reduce it here, going down to, that's 3/4. I'm gonna reduce it to 1/2 inch. And then we can use multiple plasters in the same time and maintain a good pressure. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. So we're just figuring out how to do the reduction from this 3/4 pipe to the 1/2 inch pipe that goes there, and I couldn't work out how this happens. I'm gonna have to use an elbow or this kind of connector. I'm gonna solder these together and see if it works. And that's the bigger pipe here, and the small one should go there. It is taking a while to do the plumbing because I'm figuring it out as I go. We have the T from the main water, and this is just one for, that's going to be the isolation valve for the washing machine. This is for the grey water. Then I'm going to continue along here, and I'm about to do another T off for the cold water supply for the boiler. It's a learning process nevertheless, so I'm just going to carry on now. Not much has happened since the last time you checked in. We have the connections for the boiler, hot and cold. We have the 2 connections down here, one for dishwasher, one for washing machine. And then the only thing that we need to do now actually is this pipe here. The smaller one is for the hot water, so that's gonna go down to the sink and into the shower, and then same with the cold, sink and shower. 2 hours later, plumbing is coming along nicely, but it's only 5 p.m. now, and we're not getting the water until about 7:30. We only have water for about 2 hours a night, from 7:30 to about 9:30. So I think I'm confident I have enough time to plumb the shower, and then I just need to connect the whole system to the water mains. Valves are nice and level. I'm gonna attach them to the wall, I'm gonna plumb them in, and then we're gonna go to the basement, my favorite place, make the main connection to the mains water. And hopefully we're gonna do that before 7:30. And if it all works out well and we have no leaks, we can actually start using some of our appliances like washing machine and dishwasher, which is gonna make life much easier. Check it out guys, shower's plumbed in. Just checked it for level. Spot on, right in the middle. I think that more or less concludes the plumbing in our small bathroom. I've capped off this side. That's the hot water going to the boiler, and then that's the cold one. This one here is going to be for the sink when we get around to putting one in, but I also need to install these isolation valves for all the appliances so I can turn it off, put the water mains on and pressure test everything and check for leaks. Fingers crossed there won't be many. So let's go in the basement and make the connection to the mains. Obviously nothing is just straightforward. I've made this little rig upstairs. That's the connection to the meter. That's the main stopcock, and the pipe's gonna go up here to our system. However, the old plumbing system happens to be right in the way. So I'm gonna have to cut it, and I'm gonna use this angle grinder that I've never used before. And I'll be honest with you, angle grinder kind of scares me. Oh, it's this one that's in the way now. No chance.
I'm just wondering where it's attached to the shelves or the wall. Can you not just like angle it down? You have to get it off. Just get it out of the way.
Yeah. That was a good plan, mate, to get it out of the way. There you go. Now, my thing might fit in here. Just gonna wrap shitloads of PTFE. Let's solder one going up, and then let's see where the one from the room's gonna come out. So I'm gonna go and drill into the floor there. So this is the room above the basement. On the other side is our bathroom, and you can see where I'm getting the connection from, because that's the easiest way. Hopefully I don't hit a joist. Nope, we're safe. You call that drill bit? Ah, that's a drill bit. I hope it fits, because we don't have a bigger drill bit. No. Let's see where it's come out from the bottom. At least we're lucky with the joist. We just missed it. So this piece I've measured, I've cut it extra long on purpose. I'm gonna solder this elbow, then we're gonna solder it to the pipe sticking out the wall. Push it down, trim it to size, and then we have two more connections. One, two, yeah, two more connections. And we actually might have running water in the house. That's done. Two more connections downstairs. Let's go. Back in the dungeon, guys. Very quickly, I'm going to explain what's going on, because you can't get me out of here fast enough. Just a recap. We had the new water meter fitted. Stopcock before the water meter, stopcock after the water meters, and then the pipe goes up all the way through there, up into one of the rooms, and then goes into our bathroom. And in there you saw the setup that I've done earlier. So the water's on. I'm just gonna turn it on from here. On. Joanna hasn't shouted there's any leaks yet, but the system obviously is full of air. I attached a garden hose. Yeah, you can see the water is actually coming. Quite nerve-wracking, really. And just like that, we have water, I guess. Ultimately, the goal is to get a big container potentially, or dig underground and have water catchment system, and then we can pump that throughout the day. But for now, we're just gonna have to make do with this.
Good morning, another day, another job. We've just done our morning walk and gym session, and Danny's getting started on a bathroom. What he's doing today is making a wall that's going to separate the shower and the rest of the pantry / appliances, etc. We're on a bit of a hold up at the moment because we knew our electrics were going to be dodgy, but we didn't realise when we plugged everything in it was going to be live and we couldn't use any of it. So we need to wait for some electrician to get back to us, because that's one thing we're not confident in touching ourselves. So Danny's doing that, and I get the glorious job of starting to clear the basement out.
After we did the plumbing, I thought, okay, so we can pressure test everything. It was all good. We plumbed the dishwasher, but as it turns out, if you touch the dishwasher, you get a little zap. Well, a medium zap, I would say. I carried on testing all the appliances, and as it turns out, I don't know how to deal with it, because electrics is done different in the UK to what is done here. It's kind of scary. So we're gonna get some professional electrician to come and check the system, or potentially we're looking into getting a complete new system with a new consumer unit. That's why we can't do any more of the plumbing. So I'm working on what I can, and that's just to put some of those profiles on the wall, and then we can just straighten up the walls with some water resistant drywall. Then the shower is going to be ready for tiling.
Whilst he's doing that, I'm going down there. Dun, dun, dun. That looks absolutely rank. Oh, my throat just closed up. Not sure I'm cut out for this actually. We're gonna properly disinfect and spray before we start dismantling, sweeping, clearing properly later on. I'm just shoving things in black bags and hoping I don't find any new friends. The only good thing is it's a bit cooler down there. That's all I've got to say. Safety. You're not even wearing your new safety boots. All right, never mind that. I ran out of bin bags and I've only filled 5, so the seller will have to wait for another time. In the meantime, I'm going to try and tackle this pile, separate it all out.
Couldn't find my chisel, so that had to do. Whatever.
Sweaty work with these on, especially the mask. Can't say I've got very far in. Can't say I've got very far in this morning of tidying up, but I kind of made more mess, more piles, but kind of sorted through it. So we have our general rubbish pile, porcelain, all our wood, cloths and materials, and more rubbish. And that's a mix of metal and concrete. Let's see how Danny has got on inside.
Slow as usual. I'm making it up as I go. So the walls are quite wonky. So I use this piece of timber to like straighten it with that edge there. It's just an offcut of drywall. I have the green one, which is water resistant. Drywall, which let me pick up that edge because this one's cut wonky like that. And then that's good. All the pipes are going to be behind it. And then we're thinking of building a small wall here just to like keep the shower enclosed. I think I'm done with the wall now, with the profiles and everything. Kind of perfect.
Woohoo! We have water and the bathroom is taking shape. See you in the next one.